Okay, so I'm going to be talking about numerology, what's going on with the numbers in the month of November, which is pretty staggering information. So I wish I had a calculator right now, but we'll be talking about numerology. I will be pulling crystal, oracle, very quick crystals for the individual people. And then I'll be talking about, Recall, which is a book about twin flames, twin flames, high-level soulmates, and so forth. So, but the numerology that, hi, Anaminika, excuse me, I don't want to cough in your guys' ears, but we're going to be doing some stuff on numerology, which I promised yesterday, because I want you guys to pay attention. And I wish I could just clear my throat without it being loud. Okay. Hi, Margaret. Hi, Rachel. And Monika. Hello, person from Russia. And Margaret. And I'm just waiting for more people to come on. So yesterday I did a live, and I was at the end of it because I've been doing a thing on my book, Recall. Okay. So I'm going to make a couple announcements after, okay? Well, I might as well do it now. So if anybody buys the book Recall on Kindle, or whatever, if you review the book on TikTok, I will send you a signed copy, hardback. I don't care where you are in the world. I'll send it to you. So I'm going to say that right off the bat. So that's out. Now, I want you to pull out your pen and paper, and I want you to write 2023, and then 11/23/2023, and any other November dates, because something has come to my attention on numerology, and it's pretty important. It's pretty important. So the way you would add 11 would be 1 + 1 + 1, just so you know. So, for example, 11/1/2023 would be 1 + 1 + 1, which is 3, plus 2, which is 5, plus 2, which is 7, plus which is 7, right? Plus 3, which is 10. 10 is a double compound number into 1 single compound number. What I've come across is that what's happening in the children being born in the month of the November have a life path number that's 1 that equals the day they were born. I've never seen that. I've never noticed that ever before. And I do numerology all day long. And I've been doing it since 1994. So I wanted to have you guys pull out pen and paper, and some of you had been on my live yesterday. And hi, Jackie. Hi, Letty. And please boost it. Please go ahead and share this particular live if you don't mind. And if you add, again, 11/23/2023, right? All right, you get what I'm saying? So it's 1 + 1, which is 2, plus 2, which is 4, plus 3, which is what the fuck, 7, and then 2023, right? So 7 plus 2 equals 9, plus 2 equals 11, plus 3 equals 14, right? 14 is 5. 23, when you add 2 plus 2, that's 5. Their life path number is 5 with the double compound number of 14. It's a big bloody deal, because whoever these kids are that are being born right now have the day they were born is a complete facsimile of their life path number. I've never seen that before. Are you guys understanding what I'm saying? And if you don't, please let me know. Like, don't just, say nothing. And it's a big deal because the examples that I just gave you are very high frequency numbers. 1 harks back to the sun, the beginnings, healing, light, clarity. Okay, 23 is the line of the Magi, and it's a beautiful number of a lot of abundance. If a person was born on the 24th, again, love, money, and power, it comes out to a single compound number of 6, which is again love and choices. And so the person is being asked to make choices with their heart. If somebody is born on the 16th, November 16th, they're going to have a double compound life path number of 16, and it's going to come out to 7. Do you understand? And so My point is, if the numbers are negative, it's double whammy for those people that are being born. And if it's positive, it's double whammy. It's very fascinating. And if you guys follow numerology at all, you'll understand the import of what I'm just sharing with you right now. It's pretty, it blew my mind. And it doesn't matter what number in November, the day a child is born will reflect their life path number. Do you understand what I'm saying? I hope you do. Any questions on that? And so pay attention to the children. I don't know if you have nieces, nephews, you're yourself pregnant, you just gave birth, or you know someone who did. The shit's big. It's big. All right? Any questions on that so far? Now, I had a guest a few months ago who was pulling out cards, crystal cards for certain people on a live that we did. It was really a lot of fun. And I happen to have a deck of crystal mandala oracles, and they're pretty amazing. And so what I'm going to do is ask you to, if you want me to pull a card for you, let me know. And because I would have to tap into your energy anyway. Does that make sense? So who wants to go first? And I'm not going to do it for everyone, just to be frank. I'm not, because we're going to go into oracle reading for the collective as well after that. But I thought, let's go ahead and do this. Me. Okay, cool. So let's do it. Okay, Nikki, Margaret, hang on. Just keep, let me try to, okay, so Rachel is first. So I'm going to do Rachel. I'm going to do an order of appearance or else I'll be a mess. All right, so Rachel, close your eyes. Give your angels, guides, and allies permission to guide you. And then pick from the top, bottom, or middle. Top, bottom, or middle. When you're ready, Rachel. Top, bottom, and middle. Go ahead, Rachel. Okay, bottom. All right, so this card is Ascended Master, Saint Germain, and Amethyst, Spiritual Connection. The Crystal Masters 333. Okay, so again, 27 is God's number. You know this, right? 27. Ascended Master, Saint Germain, and Amethyst, Spiritual Connection, Crystal Master 333. That's a hell of a card, Rachel. I hope you got that. So Amethyst, right? All right, who's next? Margaret. All right, Margaret, I need you to do the same. And Nikki, you're next. And Jen, you're next. And then Jackie. When you're ready, Margaret, bottom, top, or middle, make sure to give your angels, guides, and allies permission. Bottom, top, or middle, Margaret. Okay, when you're ready, top. Okay, cool. Let's do it. Archon Barbello and Picture Jasper. It's a beautiful marble jasper. It's the number 9 as well, Margaret. So 9, Archon, Archon, Barbello, Barbelo, and Picture Jasper. It's support. It's the crystal angel number 444. Did you get that? I hope you got that. Okay, Margaret, Nikki. Okay, Nikki, you're next. Let's go. And when you're ready, pick right, bottom, top, or middle. Bottom, top, or middle. Let's see what's going to come up for you guys, okay? Bottom, top, or middle. So, you know what crystal that is being guided, divinely guided to you. And when you're ready, middle. Okay, cool. All right, Nikki, thanks. Wow. Okay, Nikki, you're going to love this. All right. Hang on. I'm scrolling back up because I don't... Okay. It's 44. Goddess Bastet and Cat's Eye. So I would say Tiger's Eye for you. Okay, Tiger's Eye. I'm not sure if there's a Cat's Eye, but who am I to know, right? But definitely Tiger's Eye. I'm feeling the energy. But 44. 44 is 8. Crystal Goddess 888. Sacred Pleasure. So I'm going to just tell you this. I'm going to tell you the download I'm getting for you, Nikki. This is about pleasuring the self. This is about tantric sexual energy. This is about you twerk. You're going to laugh your ass off. Twerking. That's what I just got. Twerking. Look up twerking. because it will make you, if you twerk for at least, like, I'd say 5, no, not 5, 9 to 15 minutes, but definitely at the 10-minute mark, if you twerk the way you're supposed to, your whole Kundalini is going to start awakening. You're going to shake up the root chakra, and you're going to awaken all this energy, and you're going to start feeling all this frisson of pleasure throughout your body, and you're going to feel alive. And twerking is going to shake up any calcification there, and of course move into going into your tantrika energy. 44 goddess Bastet, Cat's Eye, sacred pleasure, crystal goddess 888. Okay, next. Jen. Okay, Jen, let's do it. That's an interesting card, that one. It's like a hell of a good card. All right, hang on, let me. Okay, bear with me, okay? I've just started shuffling, Jen, so don't answer, not yet. And when you're ready, bottom, top, or middle, okay? Okay, let me see. Bottom, top, or middle. When you're ready, Jen. Bottom, top, or middle, Jen? Bottom. Okay, cool. All right. Oh, wow. 42, which 42 is 6, okay? 42, goddess Hektat. Goddess Hektat, which is, the way you spell that name is Hecate, and Micah. Believe it or not. Crossroad of Destiny. Oh, shit. That is really true, actually. Crossroad of Destiny, crystal goddess 888. So that was your number, Jen. Micah, goddess Hecate. So that's the energy for you. All right, let me see. Let me see who else. Who's next? Did I do? I did you. I did Margaret, right? Oh, who's next? Let me see. Okay, so I did Margaret, right? So, okay, me, please. Okay, Tom. Tom, you're here. All right. I'm going to shuffle the cards, and again, pick top, bottom, or middle. And again, give your angels, guides, and allies permission to guide you. Okay? Don't just, answer until you get divine guidance. Absolutely. Animaka, Empress. Of course you can. I've got Jackie that was next, I believe, right? And, yes, you are next. Thank you, Jackie. Top? Okay, you got it. Okay, my love. Angel Uziel. It's 18, number 18, which is God number. I love it. 18, angel, because 18 is a spiritual material conflict, okay? Just so you know, Tama. And 18, angel Uziel, the way you spell that is Uzziel, and smoky quartz. Oh my God, I love smoky quartz. Heavenly mercy, crystal angels, 444. Did you get that? Okay, cool. You got. I hope you got that. I'll repeat it one more time. 18, angel Uziel, and smoky quartz, heavenly mercy, crystal angels, 444. All right, Jackie, you're next. Again, give your angels, guides, and allies permission to guide you. And when you are ready, pick bottom, top, or middle. Did I? I didn't see that, because I know Jackie was next. Middle. But I will get to you, Jess. I'm not going to skip anyone, but I am going to tell you I'm going to do probably 5 more people, and then I'll be done. Okay, this is very important. Listen up. 4, Archangel Melchizedek. And I'm going to spell it for you, Jackie, so take out your pen. Archangel Melchizedek. Melchizedek, and selenite. Divine perfection. Crystal angels, 444. Did you get that? Okay. So I'm going to do Jess next, and then I'm going to do Animaki, Empress. You know who you are. And then I'll do you, Heidi. And so I'm doing Jess next. Okay, I'm doing Jess. And then I'm going to be done in a minute. All right. Hello, beautiful brother. It's good to see you, Tim. So, Jess, this is for you. And then Animaki, the Empress, next. Okay? And when you're ready, Jess, top, bottom, or middle? Top, bottom, or middle? Then after that, we're going to have a conversation about twin flames. Thank you. All right, so I've got a few more. I'm stopping taking anybody else. Okay, thank you. That's it. We're done after Genuvan. Okay, 10. Angel Isda and Cornelia. The way you spell Isda is ISDA. So 10, the number 10, which is the Wheel of Fortune in tarot, and it's the karmic wheel that turns. So you decide. Angel Isda and Carnelian, nourishment. And because it's red, the carnelian, it tells me, Jess, that you need to work on your root chakra. That doesn't mean you ignore all your chakras. It means you better get yourself grounded or else it won't come up. Nourishment. You need to nourish your soul. Your soul is starving. Crystal Angels 444. All right? And then thank you. All right. And then Mika, you're next. Did you get that, Jess? Okay. All right. So now let's go right to, I'm sorry I can't pronounce your name so well. Anna Mika. Okay, so let me shuffle. Again, Animaka. Go ahead and make sure to give your angels, guides, and allies permission. And when you're ready, bottom, top, or middle. Thank you. Anna Mika. I love that name though. Okay, when you're ready. Bottom. Beautiful. Oh, wow. Okay. Hello. Wow. This is so you. This is so you. 45, which is 9. God's number. Goddess Gaia and Ocean Jasper. Okay. You need to get yourself an Ocean Jasper. Goodwill. Crystal Goddess 888. So you guys, when I give you a number like that, look it up on Google and look up various versions, because some versions are not going to resonate with you and some are your message. Okay, just on the side note. Again, 45, Goddess Gaia and Ocean Jasper. Okay. And Genuvan, you're next, right? Am I correct? Jen, am I correct? And is that the last person? Genuvan. All right. All right, so go ahead. Again, don't forget, give your angels, guides, and allies, right? Bottom, top, or middle. Bottom, top, or middle. And let's do it. Bottom, top, or middle. All right, let's see. Okay, cool. Bottom, top, or middle, please. Ready? Genevieve? Are you there? Is she there? Or did she leave? Is Genuine here? Bottom, top, or middle? Okay, got it. Middle. Okay, this is Goddess Durga. This is 52, which is 7. 7 is the concept of journeying. It's the 7 wonders of the world. It's not the 7 chakras anymore because we have 9 chakras that have been activated. But I will say that 52 is powerful. Goddess Durga and Hematite. So Hematite, Spear of the Guru Mother, Crystal Goddess number 888. Okay? Pretty cool. And I guess we're done. So I want to thank you all for joining on that. So now we're going to look at, we're going to be talking about some of the issues with the twin flame journey, some of the things that you need to really understand. I also want to talk about, hang on for a quick second. Before we start, I'm feeling compelled to pull out a Starseed Oracle deck from and this deck is called the Starseed Oracle, and Rebecca Campbell. And I'm just going to go ahead and shuffle, and I'm going to see what card just falls out for the collective, okay? I'm just going to do it that way. I'm being told, let's do it. All right, so you're welcome, Jackie, all of you. So let's look at what's going on. And I'm going to just look at what falls out. And the card that fell out is Earth School. They have a sense of humor. Earth School, life lessons, soul growth. Did you hear this? Study, higher learning. Study, higher learning. It's time, many of you, this is a very appropriate message. It's time for you to, it is an Earth School. You need to study. You need to read books. You can't just sit and like take a yoga class and then not understand where yoga came from. You know what I mean? If you're going to take a class, learn about it. If you're going to do anything, sound baths, sound healing, understand the power of sound frequency. It's really important that you guys do that, because if you're just bumping into the furniture of life, you're not going to go far. So I'm going to read to you Earth School 60. Hang on, let me get to page 60. And bear with me. Life lesson, soul growth, studying higher learning. Planet Earth is a great initiation for the soul, and life lessons are the curriculum for which we enroll. These aren't one-time lessons, but themes we choose to circle around, deepening our experience of them as we make our way through the spiral of life. Life lessons aren't always only about getting it right. They're also about getting it wrong. Remembering that Earth is a planet of polarity helps with the understanding. Each year, the study deepens more and more. If you pull this card while you're going through a difficult time, you're being prompted to remember that your soul came here to grow and to learn. Remember, try not to look at difficult times as getting it wrong. Instead, see them as opportunities for soul growth. If you can find a way to grow and soften your heart through the highs and lows, your soul is most definitely growing, which is the whole point. Pulling this card can also mean that you're being called to embark on a new area of study or growth. This could be through structured learning, such as university, school, or a training school. If you're having difficulties in a relationship, you're being reminded that these are opportunities for soul growth. After all, relationships are known as the number one way that we grow as souls while we're here on Earth. So this is true. Eckhart Tolle talks about this in one of his talks. He says that a person can learn more in 3 years in 3 different relationships than in 3 years meditating in a Himalayan cave. Because, again, and I've said this in one of my videos, is that relationships, all of them, trigger the shit out of you. They trigger you. Relationships at work, relationships with your family, relationships with your children, relationships with your lover, your twin flame. The shit triggers the hell out of you. Absolutely, knowledge does not come on its own, but you must seek it out and do the work for growth. Absolutely. Isn't it appropriate? It is, isn't it? Lightworker Becky, thank you. So you're being asked, hi Polly, it's good to see you. You're being asked to, go ahead if you want. If you're a Christian, there's nothing wrong with being, do it, but learn the truth. Learn all of what was, oppressed, okay, and removed from these beautiful scrolls that, by the way, the Essenes, who were the original scribes, if you will, and also Jesus is known to be thought to be an Essene, a follower of that understanding. They were so frightened of the work of the truth and the philosophies and the talks being destroyed that they buried them in jars. These were people that put their lives on the line to make sure, and they probably had downloads knowing that one day these jars and these hidden scrolls, like the Dead Sea Scrolls, would be found, and putting their lives on the line, going up in the caves of different places in the Middle East and hiding very important works from the powers that be. Okay, so people don't do that shit unless there's some secrets. And this was the same with the Knights Templars. A lot of them had secrets of the Holy Grail, and they did all that. They had a pact. It was a sect, and these monk warriors had a pact to protect certain secrets from being from devastating a lineage. Okay, and I'm referring to Mary Magdalene when I said that, and the birth of their child. Okay, I want to say something to you that they're telling me to tell you. My guides are telling me to tell you. For whatever reason, there are people that have always oppressed truth, and truth that could liberate a new concept, a new way of living that would be so beautiful that you would have enjoyed, that you might actually live to enjoy in this incarnation, and that some of us will not be here to see, of a smooth, beautiful way, a utopian way. And it's funny how cynical people scoff at the word utopia as if it's not possible. And yet in other planets, it is possible and it is lived. And there's no reason why this planet can't be that. When we talk about polarity and the concept of imbalanced, concepts like good and evil and things of that nature, we think that it is only happening on this planet, but there are degrees of polarity. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you still have polarity in other planets that the Vedas call heavenly planets. There's still polarities, because don't forget, if you're in the material world in some aspect, even on other dimensions and planets, you're still dealing with an egoic type of consciousness that is the temple for your soul. Does that make sense? So don't think that suddenly because you drop your body and you go into another planet or different structure, there isn't some kind of challenge and a polarity, but it's not as violent as the ones that we're witnessing and have witnessed throughout these incarnations on this planet. Does that make sense? So, yeah. Any questions on that? Any questions on that? Okay. Any questions on the collective twin flame journey? I can tell you that I've done a couple readings, collective readings on the masculine. And I think we're all agreeing that the masculine is getting their ass kicked, which is great because they need it. I hate to say it. It's tough love time. The question I'm being asked of you is, do you love your twin more than you love yourself? And I'd like you guys to step up and answer it honestly. Do you love your twin more than you love yourself? Can you please step up and answer? OF. I'm not sure what that means. But, no. Beautiful. No. Jen says no. No. Don't be embarrassed if you do. But I'm glad to see no's. Any yeses, please be honest, because it helps other people. I haven't found my twin yet. It's not something you have to really look for. Sadly, yes. Yes. I love myself more. Good. So somebody is admitting to loving. Yes. Good. All right. There's nothing to be ashamed of. It's actually a rite of passage to actually love your twin more than yourself. That is where you're standing in the realm of unconditional love. And that is a beautiful place to be. And so, but there's a point where you're tested to move out of this consciousness and realizing that all this unconditional love that you're giving your twin, right? Because you love them more than you love yourself, in a way that boggles your mind, by the way. Boggles the fuck out of you. Because there's shit that you're dealing with or you've accepted that you would never accept from anybody. In fact, you've taken less shit than that in multiple connections. But what I'm going to say to you is this. You will move out of loving them more than you love themselves and actually change your assemblage point, shift it to loving yourself in an unconditional way. No conditions to self-love. You know what I'm saying? And that is a journey that for me, I'm being real here, I'm not saying do it, took ayahuasca for me. And when I visited Pachamama and I did ayahuasca, I was able to taste how unconditional love felt from the divine feminine energy that visited me while I was traveling, when I was, in my shamanic journey, having partaken of the medicine. Do you understand? And so that was how I was able, because I never felt unconditional, no conditional love, never felt it. Okay, there was always conditions to the love that was given from my parents, from my grandparents, from my twin. There were always conditions, right? And once I understood how it tasted, then I was able to give it to myself. And it was a long journey. Let me read your comments. I love myself more. I don't, but I've struggled with that. I'm not going to find my twin, but working on loving myself more. Beautiful. I fought for him at my expense, but I've been redirected to love myself more. Beautiful. Thank you for the rose, Polly. How do I tap into my feminine energy? Intuition is your feminine energy. Intuition is Bruce Lee was tapped into his feminine energy. Do you understand? That's a good example, I would say, of a very masculine energy that was doing and saying things at a time. You guys need to understand, Bruce Lee was saying shit at a time when no one, I'm not kidding, very few people on the planet thought like that. Very, 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 very few. And Bruce Lee was definitely in his feminine energy. Do you understand what I mean by that? So those of you in the masculine or in the feminine genders, right? The way you tap into your feminine energy is intuition. and having heart coherence. That is a defaulted feminine energy. Does that answer your question? Yes, okay, thank you. Good. Okay, and that's why Bruce Lee came to mind immediately. Immediately, that was Bruce Lee. Because you couldn't get a badass shamanic warrior than that as an example. Okay? I can't think of anyone else that powerful, to be honest with you, that had that kind of consciousness, that straddled the fence between the material world and the spiritual world. He was really all that. It was interesting. That's what makes his loss even more profound. Profoundly painful for many of us, actually, believe it or not. Some of the best human beings that really had something to say of worth, of note, died young. Another man who's very famous, who was very much tapped into his spiritual, Bob Marley, good example, excellent example. Thank you. I was thinking of famous figures. Bob Marley's a great example of that. Beautiful, beautiful energy. Not so much an alpha male, but no less a potent in his beauty as a human being. And then I thought of Jim Morrison, believe it or not. Jim Morrison was definitely from the Doors. I don't know if you guys know who I'm talking about. He was definitely in his feminine energy, masculine, feminine. But I'd say of all of them, Bruce Lee had his shit together. Okay, I'm just going to say, because, and Bob Marley. Both Bruce Lee and Bob Marley, great examples. Thank you for that. That was great, Lily. And I'm trying to think of somebody else that would have been of note. And I can't think of anyone. Right now, I can give you names of women that are badasses. One is Regina Meredith. She's a badass. Regina Meredith on Gaia.com. That woman is extraordinary. Brilliant, psychic, humble, incredible. So if you want to look at a feminine energy that walks, toes the line between the divine masculine and feminine within herself, embodied, you'll see it in her. That there's no doubt. You can't miss it. Believe me, you cannot miss it. She's really amazing. And she's definitely in her... thank you very much for the roses. Thank you, Polly. I appreciate you. Prince, no. And I'm going to tell you why. And I followed Prince from I'm not kidding, from when he first got his first album in the 1979. No, not yet. No, there was a lot of things that he is still, I think in his next incarnation, he would be all that. Prince didn't really come into his power until much later on in life, but I think that he had to toe the line certain ways. He was a rebel. There's no doubt he was a rebel. From the time he was 19, playing all the instruments and all that, I get it. But there were certain things he wasn't getting. He was still distracted by the bling bling of being a rock star, being a star. Do you understand? The chicks, the bimbos, the adulation, the this, the that. He had some wisdoms. He was really strong in connection to what he had gone through with racial disparity and what he had seen as a young man, that formed him. But if you really look, and it's not to judge him, I'm not trying to denigrate him, but Bob Marley, if you were to compare two souls, right, side by side, Prince and Bob Marley takes the crown. I'm not kidding, in my opinion. You don't have to agree with it, but I just, feel like that. He had some stuff to still learn, okay? There was still a lot to learn for him. And in the end, he was a good messenger, but he didn't go out of his way to just, I don't know. He was a lone wolf. I'll say that. And I think that was the issue. And I think that he didn't believe the world was ready for what he was thinking. And so he edited himself out for the most part. And when he got real, we know what happened to him, right? When he got really real. One of the great movies that he made that you might want to see, that's a really cool movie, which never gets played, is called Under the Cherry Moon. It's a black and white sepia tone movie. It's about these two black guys in the south of France, in that Aix-en-Provence area. It's a hell of a good movie. It's really, really good, and it doesn't get airplayed. Again, it's called Under the Cherry Moon with Prince, when he was in his heyday. I mean, we all know Purple. What was it called? Purple Noon or Purple Moon? I forgot what it was called, but I grew up. I was a young woman when that movie came out. And I saw it with my, hey, Tony, it's good to see you. Thank you. So, yeah, that makes sense, right? I'm glad it makes sense. Purple Rain. Yeah, Purple Rain. I was like, what the fuck? And it was our favorite album, too. That's what's so messed up. It was our favorite album. We loved him. I saw that movie when it came out in the theater. It was amazing. And I saw it with my husband, my fiance at the time. Oh, my God, we loved that movie. Was our movie. We loved that movie. It had a lot of heart. And you know, you got to understand, what I do love about what Prince did is he had women in garter belts. Because up until that time, I don't. Again, many of you weren't even born. Do you know that they used to have bra commercials in America? So I'm gonna share something with you. So I moved from this country in the 70s, and I was like 14 years old, and I my last vision of Paris, France. I remember seeing a commercial for Chantilly bra. And it's a commercial of this beautiful girl that's sleeping nude in her bed. And she gets out naked and she puts on her bra and panties. That was the commercial for Chantilly bra. I come to this country and they're showing a Playtex commercial. And the woman's wearing a leotard. I'm not joking. Okay, up to her neck, down to her wrists. Leotard. And she's putting on the Playtex bra. Or she has it on, actually. She's not even putting it on. Do you understand the disparity here? Do you understand the culture shock I went through when I first came? So it was a shock. It was a shock on multiple levels. What I love about the movie Purple Rain is that, sorry about the noise, it shows these two black guys just navigating through the south of France and the Cannes. I don't know. I don't remember if they have the Cannes Film Festival on, but it's very retro-like feel, and it's really beautiful, and it's sensuous. It's not like that anymore, though. No, it's definitely not. And that was my point to Prince, is that he took women out of leotards, and he had them in garter belts. The only guy that had chicks in garter belts running down streets and shit was a comedian called Benny Hill, who was British, but that was British, okay, and everyone expected that from the Brits. But when Prince put his chicks, Apollonia and all of these other girls, in garter belts and so forth, he literally overnight changed sensuality in this country. So he was an incredible, through fashion, he was an incredible influencer before there was such a thing, by just literally, just saying. So, any other questions? Or I want to do another oracle reading in a minute. Any questions on the twin flame journey, what you guys are experiencing that you want to share? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the roses. And if you could share the live if you can. Oh, and I have another announcement. I made it up at the front of this live, is if you guys buy the book Recall, if you buy it, and you do a review on TikTok, right? I will send you a signed copy of the book and a little gift, just letting you know, to thank you. So, you'd have to give me your address if you're okay with that, and I would send you a signed copy, a hard copy, and it doesn't matter what part of the world you're in. But if you do a review, hopefully a good review, then I will send you the book, and as a gift and as a thank you. And the reason I'm doing that is because I really want most of the reviews to go through the TikTok, to influence the book to sell, because I feel as if it might actually help people, and I would love this book to be seen and read. And believe me, I have another book called Songs of Solomon, breast cancer. It's for breast cancer survivors and their lovers. It's a pillow book. It's like the Kama Sutra for breast cancer survivors and their lovers. And I have to redo the forward on the book because things have changed. But when I re-release it, I'm not looking, I don't make money off my books, to be honest with you, at all. I don't expect to. You know what I mean? I don't know why I write them, because most people write things or do things for, there's always a check at the end of it. But no, it's more of, I just want to see and have people reach out to me who have read the book to see what it elicited in them. when you read books that are about past lives, about reincarnation, one of the books I remember reading that had me like just going crazy was The Reincarnation of Peter Proud. I read the book, I saw the movie, I couldn't stop reading. It was just fascinating to me, this whole looping of negative karma. Another book I read that I thought was amazing, it was written by an Italian, which is big, in the 70s, I think actually 60s, and somehow I found it was called Audrey Rose. And it was about a little girl that dies in a car accident, burning car accident, and she's reincarnated to a new family, and she keeps having these nightmares of burning, of fire around her. And they made a movie about it. It was called Audrey Rose. Incredible story. And it was so visceral, that I felt as if maybe this Italian author, who I can't remember his name, to be honest, but it felt almost like it was based on true events. That's how incredibly intense the book was. Unlike Carrie. And Carrie was written by Stephen King. And if you ever read the book, it's pretty intense. And that book was about the suppression of sexuality and sensuality and so forth. Ultimately, that's what it's about. Even though it's coming in as a horror movie, if you read the book, which the movie couldn't capture all the nuances, as you know. A lot of things were lost. I was talking to Jen about Somewhere in Time. Somewhere in Time is another book that's intense. It's about time travel for a twin flame union. And if you watch the movie with Christopher Reeves, it's sweet, it's lovely. It's oh my God, yes, you're gonna cry. Don't worry. But when you read the book, you're like, holy fuck. You're like, there's just stuff nuanced that there's no way. And books on that level of telepathy, reincarnation, time travel, breaching time zones, to get to someone, like what Somewhere in Time is about. And my book, Recall, about just forgiving the unforgivable, right? Those kinds of books, I'm just actually thinking out loud as I speak to you with this, but it makes me realize that, it really elicits deep philosophical conversations within yourself, and you start... And it erupts. It might actually bring up things within yourself that you're asking, or bringing like a past life download, or clarifying a question you never knew you had until you read the book, and now you had that question, and it's been answered. That kind of thing. It's really cool. So those are usually the kind of books I remember the book and the film Audrey Rose. Isn't that great? I love that you remember that. Wasn't that good? Spiritual Melody. Wasn't that a kick-ass fucking book? Because I think I read the book like 3 or 4 times. When I love a book, I just read it again and again. So the book Recall, the book I wrote, is got some intensity. It's very erotic. It's very smutty, as Jen said. But it's also, there's some violence in it. I'm going to be very blunt, because it's set in Mesopotamia when, it's set in a timeline where, that kind of violence was more normal than not. Yes, I'm getting the book for sure. Yes, I loved it. Yes, it was, but it was heartbreaking, wasn't it? It broke your heart. And at the same time, the Reincarnation of Peter Proud came out at around the same time as Audrey Rose, if I recall. And then, It's funny because I'm just realizing we had some amazing writers in those days. Like I'm just remembering we had a lot of spiritual writers in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. So if you guys as starseeds feel lonely, like you're not understood, like how do you think those people felt writing those books? And yet it shook people. It literally shook them to their core, those books. So Ruth Montgomery was another writer that was really a kick-ass writer. Rampati Lobsang, I talk about him more and more because I think I read pretty much everything he ever wrote, and he was a walk-in. And Jen and I talked about when we did our walk-ins talk, and Jen and I are planning to do another walk-in live so we can go deeper into walk-ins, because for some reason some of you are thinking that, that if a twin dies or a twin ends their own life, okay, that they can't, that's it. And yes, there's a transformation happening, and you can actually move from this egoic framework they were trapped in that was really limiting their ability to see themselves for truth and to see you, or whoever you are out there that needs to hear this. And a twin can actually come back as a walk-in to finish off their years if they can get their shit together on the other side. And a person, the surviving twin, can help with that. Does that make sense? Yeah. So any questions or shares that you want to share? Yeah. So we're definitely going to do that. Jen and I are going to definitely do another walk-in talk, because I think it bears us excavating that further. And I will be reading the beginnings of Rampati Lobsang, who talks about how he was a walk-in, how it happened. It's not woohoo shit. The problem with the way we've been raised throughout these incarnations is the brainwashing is a samskar. It's an impression from many incarnations. And we have to we need to break away. That's what the ascension is all about, is breaking away from these very entrenched, dogmatic ideas that have no truth, no place in our real spiritual journey. And this concept that the earth is a polarity of good and evil is all fine and good, but we can co-create the new earth. We have that power. So my point is, when you read books like that and you are exposed to various ideas that may frighten you to the very core of you, because it's something you don't understand and you haven't been exposed to ever. Maybe you never grew up with things like that in your library. Maybe you never saw your parents read books like that. You know what I mean? So now you're walking into unknown territory, and it scares the fuck out of you. You're like, there's no way. I'm Catholic. I'm Jewish. I'm Muslim. I'm Buddhist. There's no, well, Buddhist. I wouldn't throw that one in. Forget it. Let me retract that. But you know what I'm saying? They're going to look at you like, what are you doing? Right? And that's going to make you feel very, almost like you've been pushed away from the group. But again, what is this group if it's a low-level group that believes in the brainwashing they've had? So what you're doing now is washing your brain again and expanding your consciousness like huge, like a wide net that goes out hundreds of miles, of opening your consciousness and allowing yourself to trust what comes and discern what is corrupt. Downloads. There are corrupted downloads that may also come. And I remember, especially when I do readings for clients, and they'll tell me of a corrupted download that happened when they were 14 or 19 or whatever, right? And what I mean by corrupted download is a deviant download, a download that was a download. It was from another entity, but the entity was fucked, okay? It was a bad energy, okay? It happens. And it scared the fuck out of them. They were like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. And all they have to do, and I guide people to learn how to clear their energy, protect their energy, and connect with their angels so that there's less corrupted downloads and more high vibrational downloads. Does that make sense? Okay? And that's going to be important. Okay? Let me see what else. The walk-in subject is a hell of a subject. Thank you again, Polly, for all these roses. You're such a sweetheart. I really appreciate it. So any questions on the collective with why you're in separation with the twin? Do you guys understand why separation has to happen? Do you understand why this is part of your journey? Do you accept it as a truth? Do you accept being separated from your twin because you're not having the right dialogue with yourself? Your twin clearly is not a frequency match, and there is a separation has to occur. Do you understand why? What's the best? Just call on them. Just like Rachel, how do you connect with me? You text me. Just call on them. Just say angels. Just talk to them. Just give them permission. So what I say is angels, guides, allies. I give you permission to guide me in word and action. I am so grateful. I say that. I'm so grateful. I'm going to tell you a funny story, okay? Because I do this every morning. Every morning I say angels, guide. I'm like snoozing, right? I'm in my bed. I'm all cozy and blah, blah, blah. and my eyes are heavy. I can't open them yet. But what I say is, angels, guides, allies, I give you permission to guide me in word and action. I'm so grateful for your help. Aho. Right? I don't say amen. I say aho. A-H-O. Aho. Which is what I learned when I did ayahuasca. So I prefer that term. Anyway, so one day I'm driving from LA. It's about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. I'm driving from LA, and I'm in midpoint from LA to Mariposa, California, which is Northern California. And I really love this particular gas station above all gas stations. Means I like Chevron. At the time, I liked Chevron at the time. And I was like, I really got to pee really, really bad. And I heard them, and there was the gas station, but I had to do a loopy-loop and all this crap. And I'm like, oh, fuck, but I got to do it because I really got to pee. And I heard them say, wait. And I went, wait? Why? Wait, I heard. Okay, fine, I'll wait. And I drive, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm running out of gas. I got to pee. What the fuck? Oh my God, what are you guys doing to me? And right there to my right-hand side, no problem, there's Chevron, my favorite gas. And I pull in, and I ask the guy, listen, I'm going to get gas, but I really need your bathroom. Do you mind if... And he gives me the key. I walk into the bathroom, and I'm not joking, huge, the size of a studio, black marble. I'm not kidding. All black marble from ceiling to the floor. Gorge, the most beautiful bathroom I've ever seen in my life. Forget that it was a gas station in the middle of nowhere. Okay? In between Northern and... I was in Central California somewhere. And I've been to 5-star hotels, and I've yet to see a bathroom that beautiful. I started crying and laughing at the same time. And so when you give your angels, guides, and allies permission to guide you in word and action, if you listen, they will actually play tricks on you like that. And I swear to God, I've never seen a bathroom like that since. I have no idea where that bathroom is, by the way, to this day. And I've told this story before because it's a very mundane need, right? I need gas and I need a toilet, right? And yet, boom, this bathroom of bathrooms. Anyway. So when you do that, they will let you know. They knew your Taurus side. We like the finer things. Exactly. They do. They have a fucking sense of humor, man. They have a sense of humor. So they just told me to tell you the story of Michael Singer. In the book, The Surrender Experiment, he says that he was in a hotel for whatever. I forgot the details, okay? But he was in a hotel. He was outside of Alachua, Florida. He was in another state. I think it was Boston, actually. And he really wanted just simple food. He just wanted a bowl of rice and vegetables. That's all he wanted. And it was like... But he was like driving around, and then something told him to just park the car. And then something told him to just walk down this little alleyway. And there, in a sandwich board, it said vegetable and rice. And he walked in, and there was one of his buddies he hadn't seen in 25 years or something like that. And the guy actually served him his bowl of vegetable and rice. And they sat and commiserated and remembered all these things that they hadn't done since they were in their 20s. So my point is, magic happens when you listen. So it's not how do I talk to my angels, though that's a good question. It's how do I listen to my angel is the better question. Does that make sense? But first you got to give him permission. Let me see. I believe too. Thank you again. You're so generous. Thank you. That video is spot on, Rachel. Yes, exactly. Thank you. Still getting used to putting myself out there. Yeah, it takes a lot of courage. No way. So this is what happens when you give them permission. They just magic. I'm not kidding when I say that's magical shit. Okay, that bathroom made my fucking year. Okay, it's made my life. Okay, because that moment was crystallized in my mind forever, because I was like, and it's funny because I told that story to a client of mine. He goes, wait, hang on, I think I know that bathroom. I go, what do you mean you think? You'll never see a bathroom. He goes, no, I've been to that bathroom. I go, I know, what the fuck, where is it? And both of us couldn't figure out where in Central California it was. So there you go. Anyway, what's the next? Anything else you guys want to share so I can read it out loud with the group? Anything else? Okay, so now I'm going to do an oracle reading for the collective, Lightworker Oracle. because many of you are, actually most of you here are light workers, though you may not accept that yet in yourself, and that's okay. When it's time, believe me. And when it's time and you refuse to step into your mission, you will have tower moments, a car accident, a broken leg, a broken finger. Believe me, I'm not kidding. It's not a curse. It's the universe when you're not paying attention. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. You're not following the contract deal. You said when you were this age, you would do X, Y, and Z, and you're still fucking hemming and hawing. So they will start, they will start messing with you. I'm just saying. The words are perfect. They are. Yeah, Rachel has you might want to follow Rachel. If you can't, follow Rachel and Jen. Both of them are content creators. And Rachel does twin flame readings. She does twin flame energy reads. All right, let's go. Now, when you're ready, pick from the bottom, top, or middle. Let's see what the message is. Okay? Starseeds are light workers, yes. Many of them are, and many of them are not. So, let me explain. When I say starseeds, hang on, don't pick cards yet because I'm pausing. I'm talking about Andromedans, Syrians, Lyrans, and terms we don't even know. I don't care how many experts you listen to. They don't know all of them because I know for a fact because I've seen races that they've never mentioned, okay? Species, races, whatever you want to call them. And there are also reptilians, right? I wouldn't call them star seeds. I would call them dark entities that are from other planets, other realms. Star seeds, right, when I look, is more of a positive description of our incarnations and our very first incarnation on other realms, planets, dimensions. Does that make sense? And we came from places, we still had egoic issues, don't get me wrong with that, okay? But we weren't assholes, okay? Does that make sense? And I'm trying to speak to it on a level that everyone can understand. Does that make sense? But there are entities, I'm going to use Gene Roddenberry's examples of, shit. I forgot, it just went right out of my head. Damn it. If you remember, there was the Vulcans. Dr. Spock was a Vulcan. He was half Vulcan, half white. Half Vulcan, half white humanoid, if you remember. And then you had, I'm trying to remember the race of people that were complete warrior. I mean, they were just always angry. I forgot the race. But so you have those. I wouldn't call those starseeds. But that's, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? So yeah, many of us are starseeds. Okay? Okay? All right. Any questions? Hi, Biomes Twin Flame. How are you? So any questions on that? On what a starseed is? Yes, I got it. Okay, good. All right. So let's go ahead. Let's go back. Now I'm going to shuffle again. We're pulling out the card for the collective on the Lightwork Oracle by Alana Fairchild, my favorite of all Oracle writers. I'm not kidding. This creator, she knows her shit. She's amazing. Oh my God, I can call you Teacup. I changed my username again. Oh, got it. Okay, gotcha. All right, welcome. And when you're ready, pick from the top, bottom, or middle. Top, bottom, or middle. Let's see what the message is, okay? And then I gotta go. Bottom, I'm gonna stop. Top. Top. Okay, I'm doing top. Oh, hello. All right. Initiation by air, 24. Initiation by air, 24. 24 is love, money, and power. 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 is love. It's connection. Okay. It's a beautiful, beautiful woman. She's gorgeous, Somali, Ethiopian looking with a gold crown and red butterflies, wearing red, and she's blindfolded by a red scarf. She's blindfolded. Initiation by air. Let me go in and read it to you. Bear with me while I look for the card, for the description. Bear with me. All right, so when I start reading, I want you to settle down and kind of probably close your eyes to hear it with your body as well. Me and my twin flame are finally breaking the distance by the beginning of the new year. Beautiful. Thank you for all these gifts. I appreciate it. And try to share the live if you don't mind. Okay, spiritual freedom. Listen to this. Spiritual freedom is your innate divine birthright. I'm going to say it again. Spiritual freedom is your innate divine birthright. Even so, to experience it requires moving through a process of deconstruction, an undoing of conditioning, releasing your awareness back into the truth of your original nature. You can't make this shit up. What did we talk about? This is your card. Because if you've been here the whole time, you know this is your card. Wow. The path to spiritual freedom will have you seeking the deepest and truest ground of your being as the guiding instinct for the expression of your free will and assuming complete responsibility for your life journey and soul's expression. The initiation by air leads the prepared human into spiritual freedom so complete that only service to a higher love inspires and moves the soul. Personal attachments become secondary to the soul's purpose. Do you know how true that is? I'm going to say it again. Be patient with me because this is important. Personal attachments become secondary to the soul's purpose. Now, let me preface what I'm about to tell you. I'm not saying leave everybody. Okay? But when you understand the story of Siddhartha, who became the Buddha, Siddhartha was a rich young prince married to his beloved twin flame. They were amazing together. I would say they were damn near twin ray, but the reason why I call them twin flame is because she gave birth to their son and he left her. His soul's calling was more important than his personal attachments. That's a twin flame journey, do you see? And he left her and their newborn son to seek out enlightenment, not just for himself, but for the collective. Do you understand what I'm saying? The soul becomes so radiantly clear with spiritual presence that it shines as a bright and strong sacred tonic, manifesting love in our world simply through its presence. The truly free soul is willing to leave behind all blame and cultivate compassion, flying swiftly on a path to powerful, mystical oneness with the heart of the universe. Let's continue. Your mind is capable of serving your soul as a constructive healing instrument, able to generate comfort, peace, and clarity so pure that acceptance and relief immediately follow. The mind requires guidance and boundaries so that its power serves rather than undermines love. I'm going to read it again. The mind requires guidance and boundaries so that its power serves rather than undermines love. The mind can be powerful yet not particularly conscious. Without a loving and kind spiritual practice to tame the mind, it can be a frightening weapon rather than a liberating sword. Yeah. Your mind can become more spacious and luminous if you are willing to create a practice to empty it of clutter through connecting to the inner peace and openness of your heart. Resting in the inner spiritual spaciousness of the heart, the mind can relax open and in steadiness begin to experience clarity. The mind that is willing to forego a battle mentality and instead rest in the love of the heart can be a truly potent ally for healing, uprooting fear and despair, supplanting negativities with more encouraging thoughts of optimism, courage, and kindness absorbed from the heart. When not given a chance to empty, the mind becomes overwhelmed with unprocessed information that may include fear-based programming perpetuated by mainstream consciousness, which has a tendency to thwart humanity's spiritual growth, keeping the soul enslaved in fear, doubt, and ignorance. Holy shit. This is your card. Those who are invested in controlling others rather than encouraging their freedom do not want people to think for themselves. Did you hear that? They do not want people to align their hearts and minds, for such souls are incapable of being manipulated. Did you hear that? And it's one of the reasons why they keep harassing TikTok. Because many of you have learned more in a year of using TikTok than in your whole time in any of the universities in school. And that's a hell of a thing to say. Due to the populace, due to us, all content creators creating interesting dialogue and knowledge. Without TikTok, we'd still be fucked. And that's why they're so vehement in the Congress and senators. They're full of shit. They do not want people to align their hearts and minds, for such souls are incapable of being manipulated. Light workers need to have compassion, but also be smart enough to know when to disengage from that which is not helpful or healing. Give yourself permission to keep your own mind beautifully bound to love. Do you understand how insane and how right on the mark this is? Thank you so much, Polly. Real, I learned more TikTok than I did in school. And that's a disgrace. That's a disgrace. That all of you can say that. That I found my family here, found what I thought wasn't crazy, many thought as I did. Exactly. That's a disgrace. But here we are, and we need to fight for it. Us Americans, Australians, British, we better not let these bastards take this away. They have no right. During preparation for initiation, the soul spiritually evokes certain situations to test and develop the necessary qualities. Successfully navigating the initiation of air requires consciously constructive use of the mind. So during this time of preparation, you will likely experience many opportunities and challenges to work with your mind creatively, responsibly, and lovingly. The advanced soul learns how to guide the mind into a loving perspective and an enduring foundation of peace, regardless of the outer circumstances in one's life. It is easier to be grateful during a feast rather than a famine. Yet there is always something to be thankful for. And there are those who have a spiritually self-defeating mindset that cannot acknowledge even their greatest blessing as being enough. And many of us are extremely lucky. They are scared of us unity because of their fear. Yes. Thank you. Wise use of mind will support the soul with a willingness to believe in goodness and grace even during difficult transitional times. This is why you're having people get mind blown by what's going on in Gaza. And the reason why we're not seeing the same in Congo is these people are they have no electricity. There are no cell phones, though they're mining for items for cell phones, for cobalt. What I'm saying to you is that our ability to humanize each and every one of us, regardless of race and religion, is the greatest gift that's ever been given to us as a conscious collective. And though we're seeing very ugly things, that is also part of the Great Awakening. The hallmark of a dysfunctional society is that the mind is accepted to dominate the inclination of the heart rather than to act in service to it. The mind is better utilized as a defender of what has genuine value to the heart. And this is proven. The heart actually has a memory and has similar cells as the brain cells. And we know this because we've had people get heart transplants, and they remembered through the heart chakra, through the heart that was donated to them by somebody who died, memories of foods, of dreams, of people. There's even a report of a murder, of a girl that was murdered, and the child was having so many nightmares, and finally she went, I don't know why, but a hypnotherapist convinced these a forensic artist to draw what this girl was seeing, and it turned out it was they caught the murderer of this girl, all through heart memory. Trust your heart. And people who say don't ever trust your heart, never make a decision on your heart, are afraid of themselves, and they're entrenched in their own brainwashed awareness. The awareness of what really holds meaning for us and what moves us enough to rise above our fears and risk growth. This awareness has to come from the heart. When these roles are reversed, the mind is given a task to feel, which it cannot do, and the heart is told not to feel, which goes against its nature. I'm going to read it again because it's important. This awareness has to come from the heart. When these roles are reversed, the mind is given a task to feel, which it cannot do, and the heart is told not to feel, which goes against its nature. This creates a sense of paralysis, confusion, and discomfort. That's why you guys will say, I'm confused. And I hate to say it, and I'll tell you, you're not confused. You know exactly what to do. It scares you. That's not confusion, to be scared. These are symptoms of the imposition of societal conditioning. As you enter into this initiation, you will feel the need to step back from what you have been taught and learn to question what you hold to be true. The heart is our second brain. Amen. You will need to turn your gaze within and feel for a greater guiding wisdom of your own heart. Your mind will need to learn how to trust in this process, and learning a new way may feel unfamiliar, even frightening for a time. The heart wisdom flows intuitively rather than logically in straight lines, and the mind will need patience and reassurance as it learns how to recognize, value, and trust in the curving organic pathways of a life lived from the heart. Time is not linear. You may have downloads that are scattered in your mind. Your mind will, wait, hang on, this is not linear. This is coming from all sorts. You might have downloads of past lives that are happening currently. Do you understand? But in your mind, you would say, well, that must be a past life because I'm wearing a toga or whatever. I'm being funny here. But it's actually parallel. This is scientifically proven. Time is not linear. This is known. Let's continue. This process of reorientation from intellect to intuition requires that your soul learns how to disengage from the habitual pattern within your mind, witnessing and responding from the heart. To observe your thoughts rather than becoming swept up in them can take some persistence, patience, and a sense of humor when you realize that you lost a sense of presence so very quickly. As you cultivate this detachment, you begin to break identification with your thoughts and experience yourself as a peaceful, steady light of love. Thoughts come and go, and you react less and live increasingly by your heart's radiance guidance. As you soften the strident action of the mind, it becomes a more integrated facet of your soul, serving your soul's mission. Then you can use your mental gifts wisely rather than allow them to cause you pain. I'll answer that in a minute. Those who have a strong mental energies can accomplish much in terms of communication, expression, inventiveness, creativity in this lifetime. But they can also suffer from destructive, negative self-talk, mental obsession, and addictive thought process. They may even be addicted to thinking, wearing themselves out. You know who you are. In such cases, it is helpful to regularly take time out from the mind to be in the moment, to feel alive through experiencing the energy of the body. Nature, what did I say? I did a post on nature. Nature can provide a perfect spiritual playground for such practice and encourage a sense of playfulness, presence, and unself-consciousness that allows the mind to rest spontaneously and lightly and fully in the moment. This can be deeply restorative to the mind. The mind wants to be your jailer, your boss. It's like letting a 4-year-old fucking dictate your household, how to pay the bills. You would never do that in a million years, and yet here we are, all letting our 4-year-old monkey mind dictate our moves. It's fucking incredible. Let me finish, okay? And then I'll answer your question. At this time, you are learning where you can support or undermine yourself with your own outlook on things and how you can choose to work with your attitude to shift your energetic state. Changing your mind can be a way to transform your life experience, and often relatively swiftly. Yet to do so successfully over the long term requires a balance of will and wisdom. It's funny too, because my twin always says, I think I'm losing my mind. I lost my glasses. He goes, that's not much. Who cares if you lose your mind? Good riddance. You lose your mind. This is what happens when we do sacred medicines. We lose our entrenched mind. Okay? I don't mean taking LSD, okay? Let's not confuse that shit. I'm talking about doing bufo, doing ayahuasca with a shaman, and having sacred circle, and then your mind just gets blown. Okay? It needs it. For some of us, we needed that. We needed that to get to where we are. We want to inspire, guide, and heal the mind, not attempt to dominate it. If we outlaw certain thoughts, we will end up repressing rather than healing the soul. Did you hear that? Sometimes when you meditate and your monkey mind runs amok, I get clients telling me, well, I don't understand my mind. I go, yeah, watch it. Watch your mind. Watch it. What is it doing? What is it saying? Where is it going? But sit for 20 minutes and don't move. And if your body wants to move with your eyes closed, then, I belly dance. I start moving my hips around, my arms over my head. It's okay. You're still meditating, but you're watching, you're witnessing. Let's continue. Last part. Preparation for this advanced initiation involves trials and error as we learn the art of balance, persistence, and skill needed to heal the mind. This is an advanced initiation. And as with all initiation, the preparation process develops mastery that can take time. Yet every win, even seemingly small, accumulates spiritual merit, and you are encouraged to acknowledge improvement already obtained in your conscious healing work with your mind. Take comfort in receiving this oracle, for it is a sign that significant spiritual attachment is within your soul's reach. Wow. I'm going to answer this question, which was a very good question. Hang on, okay? The question was, wait. If someone had a heart transplant, they could possibly feel the past feelings of the original owner. Yes. They're not possible. They will. It gives me what my mind needs to focus, not the muck, thoughts of nothingness. No, actually, that's not what you're... No. Listen, Tim. Listen carefully. You listen to the muck of your mind to understand what your mind is afraid of. You don't ignore the muck. It's like ignoring the little 4-year-old that's crying and crying and crying and go, oh, he'll cry it out. He'll fall asleep. No, that's not what you're doing. You're going, wait, hang on. Let me find out why he's crying. Why is your monkey mind running amok? And then you witness it during your meditation. You go, holy fuck, I'm fucked. Like, look. And you can judge it. What the fuck? It's true. Yeah, I got shit to do. I got stuff to heal. I got stuff to let go of. But you can't understand what your mind needs unless you see what your mind needs. It's like saying, I can't tell you a movie and what it's about based on just the title called The Mind. I got to watch the movie. Then I go, oh, wow, this movie's intense. Oh, this is what I can do. This is okay. This is not okay. I'll heal that. This doesn't serve me anymore. I'm going to heal that. And that's why meditation, a lot of people feel like they fail because their expectation to meditation is I will be quiet. And I have to remind them, the reason why monks and nuns chant a mantra is to quiet the monkey mind. And yeah, once the monkey mind is looping in the same bullshit, then at that point you go in and you start chanting a mantra. But quite often it's good to recount and go, why am I so unsettled in my body? What am I doing? What is going on with my mind, my body, right? That's crazy. Oh my goodness, that is crazy. Yeah, but I've had the muck so long it's consumed, now I can sort it out. Yeah, now once you're highly aware of your muck is when you start chanting a mantra, a Sanskrit mantra that is going to transmute the energy. The muck is going to turn into gold dust and it's going to be dispersed into the universe. You don't need it anymore. Does that make sense? But if you go into a meditation thinking that your mind is going to be quiet, it's like asking there are two types of things, realities with human beings. There are deep divers that can hold their breath for 10 minutes, 20 minutes. I don't really know the record, but it's pretty high, right? And then asking someone like you to hold silence for 2 minutes. Even 2 minutes might be too much. So when you work on your meditation practice, you start working on your chakras immediately. As you sit into meditation, you work on your chakras immediately. That's a no-brainer. You do all of them, right? And if you feel energetically a block in certain one of the two chakras, you stay there a little longer and then you go up the ladder, right? And then if you go and you decide that your muck in your brain is so outrageous, then you go into nature. You get grounded into nature, right? To get more of that electromagnetic current to help you release the muck, right? Through the practice of grounded, right? By grounding yourself, by putting your butt, your tailbone up against a tree trunk if you can, right? Also being by water, In fact, that's what I'm doing today, is going by a river to, and I'm going to actually do videos by this river, and I'm also going to do, get grounded, do my meditation. That's how I've been doing it. Excellent. You're doing it perfectly. So does that make sense? So your monkey mind is not your enemy to shut it down and slap it around, though, but the monkey mind, if you could see it with some compassion, as a 4-year-old that's afraid of everything, which is actually accurate, it's an accurate description of the monkey mind, then at that point you'll have the compassion of a parent. And you don't just tell, shut up. You don't say that to a 4-year-old. Why would you say that to your own monkey mind? You know what I mean? But you redirect it with mantras. Does that make sense? Hang on. All right, whatever. Oh, shit. I just did something. I don't know but does that make sense so far? I love that you're laughing. That's good. And so I remember reading somewhere Eckhart Tolle, I believe it was one of his talks. I have a lot of his books, by the way. And he said that he can actually stay silent in his mind for 2 hours. That's like comparing yourself to a deep sea diver who can hold their breath for 20 minutes. You will die trying to do that, right? So what I'm saying to you is don't compare yourself to that, but aspire to it. Yeah, of course. Who doesn't want to have an empty brain for 2 hours? But you know how you can also do it. I'll give you some advice, is to get some mandala coloring books, to get some beautiful, beautiful, beautiful watercolors or pencils that turn into watercolors or things like that. And coloring books will empty your mind. I'm not joking. Your mind gets emptied. I know that because I'm a visual artist, and when I draw, my mind is empty. I have high frequency music and I'm working on my piece. My mind, I don't know what happens, but it's blissed out. It's no longer thinking bullshit, right? And so visual artists, believe it or not, the good ones are in meditation. The ones listen to, hard rock and roll and trying really hard to get shit going, and they're pushing energy on that. That's not the meditation I'm referring to through art, okay? That's a different type of creation. But when you do things in a place that soothes your eyes and soothes your soul, and your monkey mind suddenly, you realize after, when you stop drawing or coloring or whatever, your monkey mind will step right back in and you'll hear it. But up until that point, you'll hear nothing. It's very interesting. So that would be my advice to you, to try that. Me and my twin flame both have ADHD. There's always something to be thinking about, even if we're not trying. Yeah, but ADHD have hyper-focus abilities. Don't forget that. One of the skill sets of ADHD, which I still refuse as a diagnosis, there's a couple of diagnoses I refuse, because the guy who actually first came up with the concept of ADHD was Swiss, and on his deathbed, he admitted that he had made the shit up for deals with pharmaceuticals. I'm just letting you know. So, but ADHD is, the mind is very quick, it can multitask, it gets easily bored, but when it hyper-focus, it can hyper-focus like 12 hours and just beyond that. And very few people can have that kind of hyper-focus energy. They don't have the brain power for that. So to be honest with you, whatever you feel you're doing, to the point that sometimes I feel her anxiety. I just am an overthinker, and my twin has ADHD real bad. And to the point, okay, well, when you have ADHD that makes you suffer like that, then that's why you have a mantra. You have a couple mantras you go to. What causes the feeling of stuck? How to not feel that way? The stuck aspect is usually the universe has put a pause on you because you need to rest. And you need to look at what you need to do. There are books to be read. There are things to be done in a place of stillness. And this is a time of chop wood, carry water. And if you rebel against it, all you're going to do is fuck up the messages that are supposed to be downloaded. When you are in a place of what you call stuck, it is a place of co-creation, of quiet co-creation with the universe. It is they're showing me someone knitting in quiet. And at first it feels like, why should I knit? And here they are knitting this long, long, beautiful blanket, right? And this blanket has, or doing a quilt. And there's a quiet space in that. And in that quiet space elicits creativity, downloads, and so forth. So as long as you call it stuck, as opposed to, it's time for me to just chop wood, carry water, do my gardening, with the weathers, depending on where you live in this country, or abroad, the weathers may not feel like you can come out. But I can tell you, I've lived in the Northeast, and me and my twin, we'd be bundled up to the nose, 9 degrees outside, and walk in the moonlight in the snow, the crushing snow beneath our feet, the cold air coming out of our breaths, the warm air hitting, and this coldness and iciness and stillness at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, because we were restless in our bodies. So what I'm trying to say to you is, in this feeling of stuckness, you need to release yourself into that space and go, oh, I'm healing, I'm co-creating, I'm in a place I don't want to be, and I better understand that I'm in a place I don't want to be, but maybe I have divine appointments with people, and I have divine appointments with my guides, and they need me to be still. And so I'm not stuck, I'm still. Okay? So for me, I have to try and meditate more than maybe someone else. I would say that you need to do a mantra a lot. I think everyone should have a mantra. So the one I like, even I was talking to my healer who I work with, it's Om Namah Shivaya. Simple, simple, simple. It dissolves blocks, and it creates a space between your monkey mind harassing you and that. Does that make sense? I was just thinking about getting crochet started again. Beautiful. Do it. I'm not stuck, but still, thank you. Exactly, Stella. Good for you. Thank you for accepting that. And that we need it. We all need that feeling of stillness. I've been still for 3 years, okay? Just so you know. I'm in a place I don't want to be, and yet also I have all the friends and all the connections from my Starseed tribes, brothers and sisters I've met on TikTok, believe it or not. They've become very dear to me and to my heart. And now the universe is propelling me to another part of the world, right? At some point soon. And so then action, camera, lights, action, meaning now I'll be ready, right, when I'm propelled to do more work, hands-on work with different people coming to visit me on retreats, things of that nature. That's my vision. Does that make sense? But you need that stillness to really construct something that's fine and beautiful and lasting. And we want solutions right away, and right actions need to first take time. Even writers, in fact, there's a famous story, I forgot who the writer was, but this writer he was an award-winning author. And he was at a dinner, a very big dinner, and his eyes looked vacant. And the hostess was kind of petrified, so she kind of nudged the wife of the author and said, is he bored? Is he okay? She goes, oh, no, don't worry, he's just writing. So he wasn't writing, right, physically, right, but he was writing. And if you're an author like I am, we often write the books or the ideas way before, and then when we sit down to write, we're like sitting there for 10, 12 hours for 6 weeks, 3 months, whatever it takes, and we will not stop. We will not eat. We will not do, because we've been writing the book for like months, years in our heads, and now, boom, it's time to put it into the light of the world. Does that make sense? So just trust all of that. Yeah, my book is out. It's on my Linktree. And I hate to be crass, but what the hell? So if you buy the book, right, and you and hopefully you'll like it, and you review it, and you on TikTok, and I would prefer you guys review it on TikTok, to be honest with you. And if you do that and you send me the link, I will send you a hardback copy. I don't care where you are in the world. I will send you a hardback copy for free, and I'll sign it. And and I'll give you a little gift inside as well. But I would love it if you guys did that. Is A from Russia my soulmate partner? I don't know. That's not how I do readings. You're on the wrong. I'm not that live. If you want a reading, I can give you a reading, and a proper reading, and you would go on my link tree, on my profile, go on my website, and I'll be more than happy to do a proper reading for you. I use WhatsApp, and we can do a WhatsApp, because I have clients all over the world, Japan, so forth. You'd be my first Russian client. Let me just put it that way. So great. So any questions? So yeah, Catherine, let me know. And then if you guys like the book, let me know if there are parts you think are intense. It is based on a true story and of what happened in my own past life memory. It's very erotic, very pungently erotic, I'm just going to say, and it's very intense. Because again, it's set in Mesopotamia 3,500 years ago. So there's karma. It's funny too, because I chose I really didn't know. I couldn't place when it happened, but I knew it was very, very, very ancient. And I remember when I first downloaded, it, and it was, I saw 3,500 years ago. So, you know, it's interesting how sometimes it's easy to determine the timeline, sometimes it's a little harder. But Recall is on my link tree. You can look, and it has a link directly to Amazon. And if you're buying it from abroad, it's only available on Kindle. But like I said, if you review it on TikTok, I'll send you a copy. So if you live in England, Australia, wherever, I'll send you a copy if you review it on TikTok. I would love that. That would make me really happy. And that would help the book go out. There's book club questions on the back. And if you guys want me to join on a Zoom link on a book club that you've formed, I'd be happy to do that, especially no matter where you are in the world. I would totally come in and have a chat with the people that have read the book, and they want to talk about twin flames and soulmate and karma and all kinds of things of that nature, and tantric sexuality and sexual healing. I'm a sexual advocate. I don't know if you guys know that. And let me see here. Oh, it will take a few weeks to ship here. Yes, I could see that. Shit, I'm sorry about that. But there's also Kindle. But I prefer, personally I prefer the book in my hand. But again, for some of you that are abroad in another country, you may not be able to buy that book. I will try find a Kindle here. No, it's right there on, you don't have to find it anywhere. Just go on the link on my profile, and you'll have a choice between buying it on Kindle or buying it as a hardback. It's $11.11 as a hardback. It's not hardback, soft paperback. It's not a paperback. It's a soft, book. And then on the other side, it's $4.99 for the Kindle, and you get immediate access. And then if you review it, like I was saying, then I will actually order a copy myself. I'll sign it, I'll dedicate it to you, and then I'll ship it out to you and mail it to you. Okay? So that's what I meant. But the people that are abroad, we weren't able to set it up so that you guys could order the paperback outside the country, outside the U.S. For whatever reason. It was not possible. Okay, so it only comes in Kindle if you're abroad. And I think somebody from Ireland ordered it on Kindle, if I remember. All right, so Recall, I don't have it here, but I did a couple excerpts last night and excerpts yesterday, and I think you can also sample it on Kindle. You can sample the book and get it. And let me know. It's if you're into romance novels, and because I wrote it in that way, and you're into erotica, and but again, it's erotica for some levels, and then in other levels, the erotica is about power and subjugation. Hey, how are you? It's good to see you, Lori. It's been a while. It's been, just kidding. So, any questions? How are you feeling, Lori? What a reading. So any questions or shares that you want to share? If you want to do a reading with me, hypnotherapy, past life regression, oh my God, I'm so excited for you to read it. Much better today. It was. Yeah, it was a hell of a reading. Yeah, a hell of a reading. I also, I don't know if I've ever mentioned it, but I don't just do twin flames, though that's my expertise, I would say. But I also do career. Like people will come to me and say, what am I supposed to do? What is my life path? What am I supposed to do? And so I will also do spiritual coaching where it's still a reading, by the way, but then I'm able to tap into certain energies to actually give guidance for a career shift, like bridging from one career to another. So that's also something I do. But hypnotherapy is also my passion, as you can imagine, for past life regression, and I'm certified. I'm internationally certified. So and I've been vetted out. It's a rigorous training and a rigorous, and I was trained through the Michael Newton method, which is, if you've read the book Journey of Souls and Destiny of Souls, it's his method of hypnotherapy. And I was trained directly under Paul Oran, PhD, who's an amazing, oh, what a sweet soul. Him and his wife, I've never said that to them because I don't want to embarrass them, but they're definitely twin rays. There's no doubt they're twin rays. They're amazing together. Anyway, so I'm really excited. I can't wait till you tell me what you think. Any questions or anything like that, or shares about your own twin flame, like aha moment? I would love that. Any aha moments that could really benefit the collective? Do you guys have anything you want to share? Any questions? No? Okay. So I just want to thank you again. Should I upload this live, do you think? Those of you who have been there honestly still don't know who I think is my twin in... Hang on, let me read this. I honestly still don't know if who I think is my twin is my twin. Yeah, that can happen. That, the only way to really understand it is to do a reading. You know what I mean? It's very hard for people to determine if it's a twin. Sometimes, like I have a client who is really, really going through something that is harming her. And I told her it's not a twin. It's not a twin at all. And I kept seeing somebody else was a twin, actually. And at the end of the reading, she finally told me the name. I threw the cards and I went, he's your twin. Well, we've been spending the whole time on this guy who's not a twin. He's a soulmate. And there's some heavy, heavy, heavy karma. Heavy karma. And she's, there's suffering there. Let me see her. My twin flame came back and our communication is a world of difference. He even said he wondered if we texted. Hang on. If he wondered something was happening with the moon because he was feeling emotional and remembered how I pay attention to astrology. That's awesome. That's an awakening. He's asking the right spiritual questions. He's finally asking the right spiritual questions. And then TF Junior said we texted for the first time in weeks. Beautiful. That's beautiful news. Yeah, because you shifted. You know why? Because you're about to step into your mission. Right? In a real way. And that's why you'll start seeing them come close. I mean, I'm not kidding. I'm not saying it to be mean at all. The dark night of the soul, coming out of that, surviving that is huge. It's huge. Some people don't make it out alive. I'm not kidding. They don't make it out alive. And Jen can attest to that. Right, Jen? If you're still there. And to the point where Jen is studying to help. Is this okay if I share this with them? Are you still there? Or she might have left. So I'm not going to share that. But she's studying how to help people who are having a hard time making it. Yes. Okay, good. You're here. So Jen is studying to be certified to help with suicide prevention. This is a real problem. I just read an article. Is no joke. Please reach out for help. Exactly. The dark night of the soul is not a joke. And you'll go through many dark night of the souls, but the one that's connected to the twin flame, oh yeah, it's unprecedented. There's nothing like it. It will. Many people don't make it out alive. I'm not kidding. So Jen is actually training for suicide prevention and to be certified. She's also certified Reiki master, right? And so, I mean, it's pretty amazing, right? And I read an article yesterday that the level of suicide, it's mostly men, by the way, and the men are in their late 40s. Many elderly people are doing it. They don't, and I was shocked. Women tend to fantasize about it. They think about it. Men just do it. Men are just impulsive, like, fuck this, boom, that's it. So it's particularly hard and this is why I tell my twin flame feminines not to do not block your twin. Don't ever block your twin. Because the summer of this year, me and Jen and Tony saw young women, right, young twin flame survivors, and I'm saying young because they were all under their 40s, just being real here, coming onto my life saying, yeah, my twin, took himself out. And the absolute devastation and regret, just devastated, just broken. And, yeah, okay? So I don't give a fuck what these creators think they're doing, coaches think they're doing. They're not coaching anything but ego-based solutions. And that's the wrong place. We just had an amazing oracle reading, and it definitely talks about not letting your monkey mind take front seat. We need people advocating like that for others. Powerful work. Exactly, Mel. I feel my person going through it. I actually see it, holding space for him, won't block him. Good. Excellent. That's very, very good. When a masculine is saying things that you've never heard your masculine say, please pay attention. Like, repeat what they just said in your head. Repeat it. Because if they're coming at you with that kind of vulnerability, they're already scared. And you need to not only open sacred space in terms of frequency, but you need to also bring out more of them. Like, repeated, wow, that's really great that you're at that place. I'm so proud of you. Wow, there are a lot of guys that wouldn't be able to be so connected with X, Y, and Z. But repeat it back to them so that they can hear, and then you're encouraging them to go there and that you will follow them. You cannot rehash bullshit. This is not the time to go, why did you choose Sally over me? Why did you get her pregnant? Why did you block me? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, this is not the fucking time. You're not a welcome mat because you're not going to be a booty call. Be clear with that one. Do not be a booty call, because if you are, then they're going to connect this connection with the bliss of sex with you. And they need to connect with the connection that is higher than sex. It's beyond sex. And once sex is off the table, because they have to heal, they have to do shit like that. And you're taking sex, not because you don't want to have, you tell them, I'd love to blow your brains out one more time. However, there's stuff we got to do. There's healing in place. There's things that you and I need to share. And you need to wake up. And that is something that is going to be very difficult for you who are younger, because, it's normal. Obviously. You want to F their brains out, no kidding. However, you want to make sure that you're doing what you're doing for the long-term goal of permanent union. Not a moment in time. And once they connect you with just you and them as soul beings, and they can't get their minds off you, and they can't now excuses that, Jen's really great in bed. It's probably just, again, she's just a great lover. That's why I can't get her out of my mind. See, once they walk away from you again, because they will run again, because that's, patterns of fear, they can't now say, oh, it was the sex. It wasn't the sex. There was no sex. So what is it now? Because now it's just me. It's just me as a human being. We did not have sex, but you and I are still connected, and you can't deny it. Always love your advice. Bring me back to where I need to be. Oh, good, Rachel. That's beautiful. And I have to call you today. Okay? I'll call you today. So that's what you need to look at. Okay? When you connect. And it's not denying, punishing them. And say, if you have to say that, just say, no, I would love to. You don't have no idea. I would love to lick you from head to toe. That would be my most favorite thing to do. But we have shit to do. You're suffering. And I need to make sure that I open sacred space for you for the beautiful things that you're sharing with me right now. And that's more important than getting laid. Be brutally blunt. Let them know where they stand. Don't let them walk away assuming that you're no longer sexually attracted. Don't ever let a man or woman think you're not into them. Let them know, right? Let them know you're crazy about, but you're not going to do it. Because there are deeper work at hand here. There are deeper things to be done here. Okay? And so then at that point, there's no confusion at all. None. Does that make sense? Yeah. Hang on, let me get this to... Okay, so... Yeah, no, I will totally, because I need to... Because I'll call you. I've got a couple things I got to call. But I will call you probably in the next hour, if that's okay. Or just text me now and let me know when I can call you. Any questions so far on what I'm saying? Because your perfume, your cologne, your pheromone, the way your skin smells, the way you look, the way you turn your head, the glance, the way you look at them, the sound of your voice, the way you move your body, the way you're going to give them a hug. I'm not saying don't hug them. Of course hug them. In fact, hold them. All of that is home. All of it is home. And they don't need any more than that. Does that make sense? It's like giving a kid too much sugar and then wondering why they can't focus. Okay? All right, my friends. Anything else you want to share or any aha moments you want to share before I sign off? I think this was a pretty intense live. We did the quartz crystal mandala oracle, which was really amazing. Many of you got a sense of what crystals. Thanks for uploading these to YouTube. Oh, you're welcome. I totally will upload this to YouTube today. And I uploaded Recall. So if you want to read some of the excerpts of Recall, it's on you'll see the cover, the book cover. It's an eye. You'll see the eye with a couple sleeping, almost sleeping together in each other's arms. And I hope you read the book. I hope you'll get it. I hope you'll share it. I hope you'll do a TikTok review. Oh my God, that would make my whole year if I saw that. That would totally make me happy. And hopefully people can read it and get, and because there's spiritual questions on the back of the book they're very simplistic questions, to be honest, but simplistic questions can elicit a lot. And then now I'm ready to finish up on one of my books on self-help, which I think is time for me I can feel the push. They're like pushing me. Okay, let's go. So it's time for me to work on that. I would love to. I can't order it in the UK. It's actually, you can as a Kindle. You can order it as a Kindle book. And as I said, if you order as a Kindle book and you read it and you review it, I'll go ahead and send you a signed copy to you in the UK as a gift for the review. Because that would tickle me pink. And believe me, it's worth it to me because I would love you to have the hard copy. So is Kindle okay for you, Andromeda, or no, you don't like Kindle? Yeah, do that, and I promise I will send it to you via post mail. You just send me your address. You just connect with me, and I will go ahead and send you a copy. I'd love to send you a copy, and then you'll have it, in your library. And the way my editor put it together, it's so freaking beautiful. The way you've got the Ankh for past lives, and you've got the Flower of Life for present life, and it goes chapter 1 It's present life, chapter 2 is past life, and it goes back and forth. It's very easy to follow. It's not difficult. It's not confusing. I don't know how the fuck I came up with that method of just straight up writing it like that, but again, I was divinely guided. And the way I met Malik is exactly how I write it. And I talked about that. I never ended up meeting him physically. He doesn't know what I look like. I don't know what he looks like. And ironically, he was Persian, even in this life when I met him. It was all text. It was very interesting. It was probably the most incredible. That's why when some of you guys come to me and say, it's my twin flame, is it possible? I mean, we met on Facebook and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, it's totally possible. By the way, Malik's not a twin flame. He was a high-level soulmate. But what I'm saying to you is that you guys are meeting. I'm meeting some of my soul tribes through these social media networks. I mean, how else would we meet, right? It wasn't like I was going to end up in Paris again or in different countries again or states. So many of us are meeting our soul tribe members, our high-level soulmates, our twin flames in this way. That's why my husband was he couldn't believe it that him and I met. I came from Paris. He was raised in San Francisco, and somehow the powers that be made us meet. Just like I met my twin. I lived in New York. He lived in New York. He came from New York, so did I. But we met on a beach in Florida. And now the way we're meeting people have also transformed to adding social media. So what's interesting is that I find that people will actually denigrate meeting people through social media as if it's not valid as meeting someone in person the first time. And that's not true. That's how I met Malik. And Malik saved my life. Malik's wisdom and how there was a past life, there was an unfinished business that we had to finish up, or else it would have held us in these weird, looping, negative incarnations. Does that make sense? So when we met, we had to share what was happening with each other. He was married, I was married at the time. We weren't trying to hook up to be together. It was never about that. You'll see that in the book. But yet in that past life, Malik was my beloved husband. He was my king. And Malik in ancient Persian, which I didn't know, because I was like, I can't use his real name because he might still be using it. And I'm very funny and private about people, because if I use his real name, it might come back to him. And I never wanted him to be exposed. So I chose the name Malik. And then later, when I went up to Mariposa, my landlords were Persians. And they said, Malik is an ancient word for king. Who the fuck? You can't make this shit up. Okay? So, I would never expose him. Just like I would never expose my twin flame's name or anything like. I'm very, very. You need to be private, guys. Don't put your shit out there. Okay, because people like me will never hurt you, but then we're not worried about people like you and me. We're worried about others who will get in your business and track down your beloved and knock on their door and go, did you know she's saying you're her twin flame? Or did you know she said X, Y, and Z? There are people like that. They like to start shit. So be careful. When you start exposing your spiritual journey, change the names. Or don't say names. You know what I mean? Be private. The only reason why you might have heard my son's name is because he did a live with me once to talk about his father dying and the visitations, the lucid dreamings and the actual spiritual visitations of him and his father talking and continuing their relationship in a transformed state, right? The relationship didn't end. He's still treating his son like his son, right? But it is transformed because he's no longer in the body, right? So that's why you might have heard his name, but that's about it. Okay? All right. Thank you for ordering it in Kindle. That would be great. I would love that. And let me know. But it's Jen. It's smutty. She calls it, but she likes smutty erotica. I call it erotica, but she calls it smutty, and it is. So if that offends you, this is not your book. And the reason why I explore sexuality, and I talk about it in the book, is because that kind of sexuality is not random. It is absolutely connected to the soul ties that you have with these people. It is a soul tie that creates the pheromone. It's a soul tie that creates the incredible sex. And like I said before, why wouldn't you have sex off the charts? You've had sex with this person for hundreds of thousands of incarnations. Of course the sex is going to be mind-blowing. No shit. And you'll have women or men that you have sex with, and it'll be like eating saltine crackers. You'll be like, I should be loving this, but I'm bored as fuck. You know what I mean? Because this person's gorgeous. Like, when I remember that happening when I was 18. There was a man I want him, and I had him, and he was absolutely beautiful. Oh my God. And the sex was like shit. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't. And it wasn't that he was a bad lover. He was we had no soul tie. It had nothing to do with him or me. It was the soul tie wasn't present. It was that simple. Anyway, so beware what you wish, for you may get it. Anyway, on that note, I love you all. Thank you so much for being there. And I will upload these lives. And again, this one is called Numerology and Crystal Quartz. So look for that. Sending you much love. Thank you so much for being here. Namaste. Take care. Bye.